Hello and welcome back. This is Mr. Fusion Coder here, and thanks for joining the Arduino course part 2 video. I hope you have seen the part 1 video. If you haven't, don't worry, I'll give the link down in the description box. You can go and check it out. And because if you don't watch the part 1 video, you might not understand the part 2 video contents, okay? It might be confusing, okay? So today we'll be starting with the part 2 video. It's elaboration of the part 1 video, and we'll be moving further with the Arduino course. Okay, so let's see, what do we have? Okay, so what will we do in this video? First, we will make a simple virtual simulation of a blink LED project. Okay, so I hope in the last video, if you have seen the last video, the part 1 video, you might have seen that I introduced you to Tinkercad. So we'll be doing an LED blink project, very simple. That's the most basic projects everyone does before like starting their Arduino, just the Arduino course journey. Okay, the beginning. So we'll be doing that. Then we will get to know about a new device called breadboard. Okay, it's not a device, it's a kind of board which we use to create circuits. Okay, it's a temporary board, like we temporary circuits. We don't use it for making permanent circuits. I'll come to that, okay, after a few slides. And then we'll be making connections or circuits, you can say, on the breadboard. Okay, so first we'll get introduced to it, then we'll make connections, and then note different devices while working on Arduino, like input output devices and different kinds of sensors. Okay, so I will introduce you to different kinds of sensors which we use, not only sensors, input and output devices which we use while working with Arduino. Okay, so going to the next one, we have the simple LED blink simulation. Okay, so I'll be going to Tinkercad now and I'll take you with me. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we have come to Tinkercad. So as you can see, this is the interface of the Tinkercad website. I have given the description of Tinkercad in the previous video. You can check it out. Okay, the website is tinkercad.com. I'll give the link down in the description box. You can check. Okay, so now we won't be working with our, oh sorry, we will be working with Arduino and the breadboard, but as I'm not introduced to breadboard yet, we will do it later on. Okay, after we introduce you to breadboard, we'll do the same LED blink project on the breadboard. Okay, I'll show you how. So for now, I'll just kind of remove it for now. Okay, I'll delete it. Okay, so this is our Arduino board. Okay, so if you haven't used the Tinkercad yet, you should go. It's a very helpful website. If you don't have an Arduino board right now with you, you can use the Tinkercad website and make the circuits and practice it over here. And when you get your Arduino board, you can practice it there. Okay, so this is the Arduino board. If you have seen the part 1 video, I have given you all the parts and components description of an Arduino board. So we'll be going ahead with the like the project, the LED blink project now. So as you can see, we have the pins, okay, over here. Now we are going to use an LED. Okay, so in the search box you have to type LED, and now you can see this red color kind of LED. Actually it's not red color, you can change the color. So you have this, when you click on the LED, you'll have this drop down box. You have green, yellow, orange, blue, red, white. You have lots of options. I would go for blue, or yep, I would go for blue, and I'll keep it here. Now what you need to do is, this is the cathode and this is the anode. As we know, cathode is the negative terminal and anode is the positive terminal. Okay, so what we are gonna do is we are gonna place the cathode in ground and the anode in 13. Okay, this is the setup. I'll just show you. You can see the setup has to be done like this. Okay, the cathode should be connected to the ground pin and the anode to the 13 pin. Okay, now we are gonna make a very simple kind of code. Okay, now I won't give you the default one. I'll type and explain here. Okay, because that would be a lot more easier for you to understand. Now what we'll do is first we'll start with void setup. Okay, this we're setting up the Arduino's functions and the other parameters which are needed. So first is pin mode. Okay, the pin mode, it's an inbuilt parameter. We will give LED built in. Okay, and output, we need the output, right? We don't need the input. Into the output, that is the blinking effect. Now we are done. Now we'll go to void loop. It's this one. This function is for like continuing a function multiple times, running it multiple times. Okay, so here what we'll do is we'll give digital write. Okay, you don't need to worry about these terms. I'll be explaining you these terms in the upcoming videos, the part 4 of 5. Okay, I'll be explaining you what these terms are. For now, LED built in high means the voltage will go high, and which will like make it glow. Okay, make the LED glow. And then you want to give a delay means it will stop. Like when it glows, it will glow for few seconds. If you give 1000 milliseconds, it will stop for 1 second and then go low. Okay, so 1000, I would give 1000. Yeah, 1 second, 1000 milliseconds. Okay, don't confuse. 1000 seconds. Digital write will give LED built in. Oh, sorry. Yep, low. Now the voltage will go low, which will make the LED go down, meaning it will not glow anymore. Okay, delay, it will kind of turn off the LED. Delay of 1000 again. Oh, sorry. Yep. Now let me explain you what I did here. So basically, when we are giving it high, the voltage will go high and it will make the LED glow, and then after a 1 second of time period, it will go off. That is the low, which will lower down the amount of voltage, which will make the LED go off. Okay, and again with a delay of 1 second, that means the LED will be turned off for 1 second, then again it will glow for 1 second, and again it will switch off. Like that it works. Okay, now you don't need to save anything over here. It gets saved automatically. Now close this. Now click on start simulation. You can see some start simulation button. Click it. Okay, I'll just zoom in here so you can see the animation properly. Yep, now I'll be just doing start simulation. Yes, so you can see that it is glowing. As soon as our USB port was connected, the LED started glowing. If you hover over it, you can see that it says current through the LED is, it says it's 2.3 48.8 milliampere. So it gives the amount of ampere as well, the amount of current flowing through it. Okay, so now this is what we had with the LED blink project. Okay, so I hope you understood the code. I will try to give you the source code down in the description box. Okay, and now we will go back to our presentation of what we will be doing. Now you can stop the simulation at last after you finish. Okay, now okay, now we'll go to the next slide, that is what is a breadboard. Okay, now you might have seen this breadboard, some might and some might not have seen. So what is a breadboard? It is a simple kind of board which is used to make circuits and connections of electronic devices or components like LEDs, sensors, switches, batteries, etc. Okay, so you can connect a large variety of devices in it, like the input output devices, the switches, batteries, LEDs, sensors, etc. Okay, now the main part is it has small hole like structures. Okay, now it has small hole like structures in which we connect the components to make circuits. Okay, so basically if I zoom in, actually I can't zoom in here. I can't zoom in. One second. Yeah, I can zoom in. Yes, so if you can see that there are small holes over here, I'll show you on Tinkercad. Okay, the holes, if you cannot see, but if you can see, these are the small holes on the breadboard which are there where we connected. There's a small circuit. We'll do this kind of circuit later on. And now, so you know what is a breadboard. It's the main function is it's kind of board where we use uh which we use to create circuits and connect all these kind of input and output devices. And its structure is like it's made of small holes in which we connect the components. Okay, now moving on to the next slide, we have, let's see how to make connections on a breadboard. Okay, now we will see how to make small circuits on a breadboard. Okay, so we'll be going back to Tinkercad now. Yes, we came back to Tinkercad, and now we are going to see how to make small circuits on the breadboard. Okay, now you got to know the code. Okay, now we'll use a simple LED bulb over the breadboard. Okay, now we use the ground pin and the 13 pin, digital 13 pin. Okay, now this time what we'll do, we'll connect the LED to the breadboard. We'll not connect it on the Arduino board. We'll connect it on the breadboard and see how does the code work. Okay, this code will stay the same. Okay, the previously what code I wrote, it will stay the same, but we will just use breadboard instead of just using the Arduino. Now in the search box you need to type breadboard. Now I would recommend you to just choose the small one, and even while you're buying, maybe you can buy the breadboard small, the small size. Okay, I guess it's more handy and easy to use because it has a science written on it as well. Okay, now I will move the Arduino aside a bit. Okay, I'll just show you the diagram, the details. Okay, let's move the LED as well. Yep, let me zoom in. Yep, if you can see now, you have the breadboard over here. Okay, according to me, this is the best breadboard. It has all the markings written. Okay, and as you can see, this the red color, this lane is connected. You can see these green dots moving all over. That means this whole lane is connected through each other. Okay, like this is the positive lane and this is the negative lane. These are connected in horizontal manner. Okay, then when you come to the alphanumerical lanes, you'll see these are connected like this. Okay, this is the gap in between these connections. Okay, this one is a separation between them, so they are connected like this vertically. Okay, and you can make the circuits on these boards similar with this one. Okay, so this is the like diagram or a structure of a breadboard. Now I'll show you how to make the LED blink project on using a breadboard. Now we'll take the LED. Okay, we'll place it anywhere over here. Don't place it on the, what do you say, these places, but like you can't put it horizontal over here, like vertically over the negative and the positive lanes. Okay, you have to turn it. So you can see on the top left corner you will see a rotate button. Okay, rotate it, then the LED will get rotated. You can rotate it according to whichever way you want it. Okay, so it's rotating like this. Now I want to keep my LED like this. Okay, I'll connect one end, that is the cathode, to the negative, and the anode will be open like this. We'll use a resistor for in this. Okay, resistor. Yep, I have a resistor with me. Now I'll connect this resistor's one end towards the anode of the bulb, the LED bulb. Now what to do, we'll connect the jumper wires. Now we have a virtual jumper wire. I have not showed you yet. I'll show you now. To connect the negative lane, you need to bring a ground. We'll not bring it from here, it will be easy from here. You don't need a long wire. So you have to click on this place and then pull. See, my jumper wire starts coming out. It's a really good design. You don't even need the actual Arduino, but you need it because while making real life projects, if you want them to work, because you can't make them digitally. Okay, so this is the way. And now, as black wire is the negative one, so I'll make it black. Okay, we can change the color. You can see this place. You have to select the wire and then you can change it. There's a large variety of different colors. Now what you're gonna do is, we were connecting to the ground, right? This ground and this ground are the same, almost the same. Okay, they have the same purpose. Now what you're gonna do is take from 13. Okay, or if you don't want 13, I will teach you an alternative. Okay, otherwise you can learn it really quickly. Now you can use these digital pins as well. Okay, but in the code you have to make a slight change. I'll show you. If you want to connect from the digital 10 pin, okay, click on it. You can make it organized like this. It looks good to see that. Okay, and leave the space. Don't always connect it like completely with the resistor. Leave a gap and then connect it over here. Okay, I hope you what I said. Don't connect it exactly. Okay, like they should not touch each other. They should be on separate dots, because after all the whole lane is connected, right? So that is the same meaning of connecting is like together. Now I'll change this into red, maybe. Okay, now this is your connection, your LED. Okay, now you have put in digital pin number 10. Okay, now I'll zoom in. Remember that you put it in digital pin number 10. Now go to code, erase this LED built in. Okay, you have to erase it over here, erase it over here, and instead of LED built in, write 10. That's the pin number 10. Oh, sorry, 10. Okay, now when you have done this, now you can close the code and now start simulation. Yes, so you can see our LED is glowing, right? So it's glowing and then switching on and then turning off and then switching on and then turning off. Okay, so it goes like this, the 1 second gap, right? I hope you understood how to make connections like this. You'll be making more projects, virtual projects. But when I also get my Arduino and the other kits, the Arduino kits, maybe I will be doing an unboxing video of the Arduino kit when I got it. So we'll be making real life creative DIY projects, maybe robots, gradually, and we'll have a lot of fun. Will. I can guarantee you will have a lot of fun in this course than the other courses on my YouTube channel. Okay? Now, moving on, we'll go back and see the other slides, the presentation of what we have to do next in the video. Okay, now we came back. Now we will go to the next one, the different types of input devices. Okay, we'll talk about input devices. First, let me ask you, I hope you understand what are input devices. Okay, you can give down in the comments what are input devices and large examples of input devices. For now I'm giving you example like a keyboard, a mouse. Okay, two examples. Now in the comments give me more examples of input devices which are used in computers. Okay, not in like Arduino, in computers, the other kinds of input devices which you have heard or learnt about. Okay, but now we are not talking about the input devices which we use in computers. We will use we will see the input devices which are used while working with Arduino. Okay, so we'll go to the next one. And yes, we have the sensors. The sensors here play a major role in the Arduino projects. Okay, so I'll be naming one by one. Okay, now this one which you can see here is the HCSR04 model of an ultrasonic sensor. So basically the ultrasonic sensor senses objects near it. Okay, this can be used in like obstacle avoiding robots, distance measurers, and like sonar radars. Okay, we'll be making these type of projects really soon after the few of the videos. Then there's another type of ultrasonic sensor which is the ping model. Okay, you can see the difference. If you have spotted the difference, tell down in the comments. Okay, for now I'll just tell. If you can't spot, is that you have 4 pins in HCSR04 model and you have only 3 pins in the ping model. So they don't serve such a great difference between the two Arduino like ultrasonic sensors, but yes, there's a slight difference in the workings as well and the connections. Okay, so these are the two sensors. It's the ultrasonic sensor as well. Now, which you can see here is a rotatory potentiometer. Okay, then we have an IR sensor. This is a infrared radiation sensor. So this is used in infrared rays projects, okay, which we'll be doing later on. And then we have a force sensor. A force, you might have heard Newtons, 1 Newton, 2 Newton, that is the force. Like that, it senses the force. This is a temperature and humidity sensor, both. Okay, it can measure both humidity and temperature of your surroundings and environment. Okay, this is a gas sensor. For example, when you have a gas leak, okay, this sensor takes in the gas and rings an alarm to let you know that there's a gas leak. Okay, either it will send you a notification on an app if you connect it, or it will just ring an alarm, a buzzer. I will show you in the output devices. Okay, then we have a photoresistor, a sound sensor, a temperature sensor, touch sensor, motion sensor. This is a PIR sensor, and this is a light sensor, light kind of sensor. Okay, it senses lights. So these kind of sensors, we'll be using them a lot in our upcoming video projects. Okay, next what we have is different types of output devices. Now output devices, I'll tell you again examples in comments. You can give me a large variety of examples of output devices. For now I'm giving you speaker, monitor, and printer. Okay, I've given it 3 examples. Give me more down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Okay, now we have the output devices used while working with Arduino. Now this over here which you can see is an OLED display. It's a kind of display which displays text alphanumeric. It's an alphanumeric display. Okay, for example, if you give a code to display the distance between an object and your sensor, it will display over here distance is there'll be a colon. Okay, and then 72 centimeter. That's not that much range is not there in the normal sensors, but I just gave an example how it shows. Okay, then we have a hobby gear motor, then we have a DC motor, then we have a buzzer, the alarm which I was saying, which we can use in security checks, security projects, like security reasons like laser, and then the gas leak. And then we have a 7 segment display. Most of you, if you might not have, but some might have seen in elevators, you might have seen that the floor numbers, when you are going up and down in an elevator, it shows the numbers in this kind of format, right? You might have seen, some might have seen it. And So that is how a 7 segment display works. You can use that as well. Then we have two kinds of servo motors. They have different connections. Okay. Then we have an LED, and then we have an RGB LED. This is produces different kinds of colors. Okay, like RGB. Okay. Now, to summarize, we learned the output devices, we learned the input devices, we created a breadboard. Okay, and like we got to know about breadboard, and we made connections on a breadboard, and then we also made a simple LED blink project. So I hope you love this video. If you loved it, please do leave a like and a comment, and do leave the comments which I asked you to about the output and input devices. I would love to hear you, and if you have any doubts, do ask in the comment section below. And till then, stay safe, happy coding, and if you are new to this channel, do consider subscribing. It helps me a lot and motivates me to create such amazing content. So thank you and bye.